Hi, how are you? It is February the 8th, and Santiago is a bit of a quiet place. Winter is here, and the rain is here, as you can see, live from Plateria and Obradoiro. But what we've been doing over the winter break is try to think of new things we could do here in our new office. Since we moved in here in September, I've had several ideas, and today I would like to talk about some of them. As you know, you may not have known, but if you know, I've been doing the luggage storage service for many years now. And that consists of you arriving in Spain or in France or in Portugal, shipping me your extra luggage, and then I will store it for you until you arrive in Santiago. Of course, this is something that I will continue doing next year and this year as well, 2024. But this year I also have two new services that I would like to explain how it works. And one of them is that if you arrive in France, Portugal, or Spain and would like us to pick up your suitcase at your hotel, we can do that now with DHL. We work with DHL for our shipments from the Camino Forum store. We ship guidebooks all over the world and have done so for many years. So I thought, well, I have an agreement with DHL for shipping stuff. Why don't I also use this for pickup? Because I can do that. I can set up a remote pickup, which means you have to get in touch with us. And it's all explained here on this page. I'll get into more details later on this. And we can arrange that we can have your luggage being picked up from your hotel. So that's another service, and then of course we'll send it to Santiago with DHL, and we'll store it for you here until you arrive and pick it up. That's the second service. This third service is, many times I meet pilgrims here in Santiago. They ask me, "Can I ship stuff home with you?" And until now we haven't done it, but now we're also offering that as well. Since we work with DHL, as I mentioned anyway, we only ship with DHL. If you want to ship with Correos, you have to go to Correos yourself and do it from there. But we can do it with DHL, and I have everything explained here on this webpage as well. All these links will be in the description of the video. So before I continue, I just wanted to go through and talk a little bit about each of these three services that I offer. All right, so the service that I've been running for many years now is, some of you may know, it's the one where you arrive in Spain or Portugal or anywhere in the EU, really. Don't send me anything from outside the EU, so no UK, no Norway, Switzerland, United States, Canada. If you do send something from outside of the EU, it will get stuck in customs, and they will ask me, what did you buy? And then they will ask me for paperwork, and a lot of that communication will happen by letter. So they will send, so it takes forever, and it's a pain. So please don't send me anything from outside of the EU. But if you're in the EU, like Spain, Portugal, or France, you could go to any post office or any shipping company that you prefer. I don't really have any preference, and ship things to me, and I will store it here in Santiago until you arrive. I'm Casa Ibar, which is where I'm located. It's located 150 meters from the cathedral, so it's very centrally located, and you can then come and pick it up and pay me when you arrive in Santiago. So this page you see here explains a little bit of the process, how you do it. You ship it to me. Here's the address. If you ship it from Spain, I recommend Correos. Correos works really well. The only issue with Correos is that try to avoid to ship at pilgrim rate. Correos has a special pilgrim rate for pilgrims, which is a little bit cheaper. And the reason that it is cheaper is that it does not include delivery at the destination, which means it will not arrive at my office. It will stay at the Santiago post office, which is also a service that they offer, and you could use that service if you want. So for me, it's best if you send it a paquete azul. That's another rate that they offer. It's a few euros more, and if you do that, it will arrive at my office, and you can come and pick it up here. So once you arrive in Santiago, you pick it up, and this is our new prices. By the way, I've had the same storage prices for, I think, over 10 years. So this year I have upped the price a little bit. It used to be 25, now it's 35 for the large items, suitcases and big boxes. Smaller boxes are 25 and letters is 15. By the way, you can send letters. If it's a letter, you can send it from outside of the EU. I get sometimes Americans or Canadians that have lost their credit card, and they can, if you want, you could use my address as the address where they can send you a new credit card. That comes in a letter and it will not get stuck in customs. So that's an option. That's 15 euros. And then, of course, for opening hours is also here listed. And this year we will, for the first time, have opening hours also in the afternoons, which I think it's useful for many. So anyway, some tips for shipping stuff to me. If you ship from Portugal, you could use the post office. The only problem with the post office is that if there's a problem, customers, and you will realize the problem when you arrive in Santiago to pick it up and it's not here. And then when you're in Santiago in Spain and try to get customer service from the Portuguese post office, it gets very complicated. Then you have to call, and their call service number is not great. So it becomes a problem. Usually shipping things with the Portuguese post office works great. There's no problem. 95% of the time, my guess it works just fine. But in those 5% cases where there is a thing that doesn't work out well, maybe the address wasn't exactly correctly filled out, if there's a problem, there is more of an issue. So if you want to be sure, if you're sending some extra pair of socks, I think I would use the Portuguese post office. Maybe pay another euro or two for the rate where they give you a tracking number, so that you can have a look and see what's the status of the shipment. If you're sending stuff that are a little bit more valuable, I would try and find a DHL office or some other private shipper and ship it with them. The benefit with that is that if there's a problem, it's you have one place to call, and you can call the Spanish DHL and they will deal with it for you. You don't have to deal with the Portuguese post office. Because the thing with the Portuguese post office is that when you send it from Portugal, it goes with the Portuguese post office to the Spanish border, and from the Spanish border and to me, it goes with a different shipper. And then, so there's two shipping companies involved, and if there's a problem, one is going to blame the other, and it's a bit of a mess. With DHL or any other private shipper, it's the same company all the way. That's the advantage. Of course, it is a little bit more expensive. But I leave it up to you. You can ship it however you want. Whatever I receive, I'll store it. As I said, Portuguese post office, usually no problem. The only problem is if there's a problem, then there's a problem. You know what I mean? So that's some of the tips from Portugal. For wrapping, if you just send, you can buy post office boxes in Portugal. They're not very big. So you may have to, if it's a suitcase, you can send a suitcase. What I would recommend you is that you copy and paste this address that you see here, maybe print it out on a piece of paper, on a big piece of paper. Go to a supermarket, get like kitchen plastic wrap, and then put the paper underneath, and then wrap plastic around it, see-through plastic, so that the address is visible underneath. When you get to the post office or wherever you ship it, they will put another shipping label on top of the plastic, and it sticks really well on the plastic. And sometimes if you put that sticker on like a clothy kind of suitcase surface, it has a tendency to fall off, and that's the problem. So I think that, what do you call it? The kitchen wrap, that works really well. And yes, you can send suitcases with the post office in Portugal. What about France? Okay, so if you ship from France, same thing with as I mentioned just before with Portugal. If you ship it with the French post office, it goes with the French post office service until the Spanish border. When it arrives in Spain, it continues on with a private Spanish shipper called Seur. And I would say 95% of the time, everything's fine and it works just great. if you arrive in Santiago and there's a problem with the shipment, we have the same issue we have with Portugal. You don't really know who's at fault, what happened to it, and it's very difficult to get customer service from this French post office once you are in Spain. So I would try, if you have valuable things you're shipping, I would try to get some kind of private shipper to ship it with them. And if you do that, you don't have to wait until you get to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port if that's where you're starting. You could, if you land in Paris, you want to just send it from Paris, you could do that. Maybe it's easier to find a private shipper in Paris than it is from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. There is also another service that is not related to my service, but it runs from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to Santiago, and is that Buraco transport company that they have cars that drive directly from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to Santiago with luggage a couple of times a week, I think. So you might look that up if you wanted to ship something from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. If not, as I mentioned earlier, you can also use the service that I have for luggage pickup. We will pick it up for you with DHL and then send it to Santiago. So that the advantage of using a private shipper is, as I mentioned before, you could only have one company from the door to door. So if there's an issue, we could easily figure it out with DHL or whatever private company you use. So that's from France. As I mentioned, from Spain, I would use Correos. Correos works really well in Spain. All right, so then the first new service that I mentioned earlier that we are offering this year is that we will pick up your suitcase for you or your luggage. You just have to have it ready for us. We will. I'll explain this process here in a little bit, and then you can read the rest on the link that I'll put underneath this video. The idea is that you let us know maybe a few weeks in advance. That would be the best because we need to prepare this. Where you want us to pick it up, what date you want us to pick it up, and of course the address of the place, and your name and contact information is all listed on this webpage. We'll program that in, and we'll send you a few days in advance. We'll send you a PDF document that looks kind of like this. It's just one sheet of paper. You fold it, and this is what you need to attach to the suitcase or item you are shipping. As I mentioned earlier, I can't really ship you any way to stick it to your suitcase. You have to figure that out yourself, how to stick it to your so that it doesn't fall off. I do recommend these plastic wrap, kitchen plastic wrap, see-through wrap. You put this underneath, and then you wrap the plastic wrap around your suitcase or carry-on bag or whatever you're shipping, and that way it's easy to scan, it's see-through, and it shouldn't fall off. So you set up the booking for the pickup and the date a few weeks in advance. A few days in it before you leave or before you will pick it up, we'll send you the PDF file. You print it out and you attach it to your suitcase or whatever you're shipping. And then we'll come and pick it up on the day you mentioned. We'll program a pickup from DHL. They'll come and pick it up and they'll send it to Santiago. Once we have received it in Santiago, we'll send you a payment link so you can pay for it, or you could that will be by credit card online, or if you prefer, you can also pay for everything when you arrive in Santiago. We can pay with a card. We have a machine here where you could tap to pay, so it's Apple Pay, Google Pay, any credit card. Tap to pay or sign as well. So, and we have the prices listed here on the page as well. And these prices include the DHL shipping from France, Portugal, or Spain. Those are the three countries we're starting with. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If you're interested in this and have questions, please email us at luggage@casaivar.com and we'll try and help you out. All right, the third thing, luggage service related, is that we can now start shipping things home for you. So imagine you are arriving in Spain with a suitcase, you ship it to us. Good, because maybe you do some traveling after your Camino. You arrive in Santiago after having walked with your Camino backpack and your Camino clothes, and you arrive here, you pick up your suitcase with your tourist clothes, and you then have a Camino Santiago backpack with dirty, sweaty things in it. And if you want, we could ship it home for you, or ship it to anywhere you want, really. So then you can just continue your trip with your touristy clothes. So that's another service we have, and it really is just coming by the office, and we'll figure out. We have the prices listed here. We could ship to the United States and Canada, Australia, New Zealand, European Union. We have some prices listed on the page. We have some plastic that we could wrap your thing in. It depends what you're shipping, but I might get some boxes in as well that we have can sell the boxes. So we'll take that as, this is a new service, so we'll take it a little bit as it comes. But I'll find a way to have it prepared well. But if you have it, if it's a suitcase, I think we could plastic wrap it. It should be fine. If there's just loose things you're shipping, it would be nice to have some kind of box or something. I'll figure that out. But these are the prices that we have for the shipping, and yeah, just come by Casa Ivar and we'll work it out. All right, so those are the 3 new services that we are offering. Well, 2 new services, 3 in total, and I think I will link to these, as I mentioned, below in the video, and we will probably create like a frequently asked questions section at the bottom that I haven't set up yet, but once questions start to come in, I'll figure out what people are asking for, and I'll set up a frequently asked questions section for each of these services in case you have questions. But contact us at luggage@casaivar.com and we'll figure it out. Happy planning. Ciao.